them and plant them without any irrigation and without any way of knowing they're going to come up. But he sowed in a famine, or he sowed in a drought. Somebody want this subject? I preached it 25 years ago. He sowed in a drought and reap 100-fold. Now that means that every seed that he planted grew. You don't even do that with irrigation. You don't. All the seeds just don't come up. But the Bible said they came back 100-fold. Now that tells me that many times when we think we're down to our last and we try to hold on to the last, and we find because we are afraid to tithe, afraid to give to God, because that is our last. If Isaac had held on to his seeds, that's all. When he ate the seeds up, he wouldn't have had nothing else. He wouldn't have had nothing else. But he sowed in a drought, and God blessed him for his seeds to come up 100-fold. So that was 20-something years ago. And that's when I started sowing in drought. I started sowing. Regardless to what, it didn't make no difference what I had. I would give it because God let me know that if I sowed in a drought, if you sow only thinking when you have money, you budget out God, what you're going to give God, you can't set a budget for God because God can change it at any time. And that's what I tell people in marriage counseling. When they make their budget, don't budget God out. Don't leave out tithing and offering. You left out your blessing. You left out your blessing. Because if you ever going to make it in God, you cannot be afraid to sow according to what your economic status are or what the economy is. Because the economy is not always good. And even now when it says real good, it's bad for a lot of folks. It's only good for the folks that got money. It's not good for the folks. How in the world could it be good for somebody when a person that wants to bless 1 million people, 1% of the people that are already billionaires with more, and at the ratio of 23 million or 68 million, somebody said, for them to not even have Medicare, to make the other people that's already rich richer. They can never spend the money that they have. And they use a slogan to make America great. This is not making it great. This is taking us back to the worse than it was in the Depression. And this is causing stress. And what they don't understand, you're going to spend the money anyway. They got to do something with folks that can't eat, something with people that can't go to Medicare. Somebody got to take them up. Somebody got to pay for it. So that means they're going to take more out of the middle class money to support the lower class, and the rich is getting richer. And so only way and our only hope is to sow in our family. Give God, regardless of what it looked like. God, I'm trusting you. I am not trusting the Republican. I'm not trusting the Democrats. I'm not trusting the stock market. I am trusting you. And remember, we have a lamb. Is our shepherd. That's what our symbol is a lamb. You got the donkey for the Democratic. You got the elephant for the Republican. You got the bear for the stock. Y'all ain't going to talk to me. But we got the lamb. And that's what we should be standing on, the lamb. Well, that's the lamb. So that's what we should be trusting in. And he sowed in a famine and reaped what? 100-fold. Every seed that he sowed, God gave it to him back. Now, watch this. For he, not only that, for he had possession of flocks and of, I missed 13, and the man waxed. You know what the word wax means? Grew. He grew. What? Great. And went forward. And grew what? Until he became very great. For he had possession of flocks and possession of herds and great what? Stores of servants. And the Philistine envied him. Why do you think they envied him? Somebody just holler. Why did they envy him? He was blessed. But think about this. It didn't say the famine was over, and he still had cattle, sheep, they being fed, servants being fed. You in a famine. Philistine scared to plant. Cow powder was poor. Bulls was poor. People except the cattle, they was poor. Here this man is prospering in their land. And they envied him. There are people that will envy you for what God is doing for you because they want to see you suffer. And they don't understand how you can prosper with a job paying less, not even half of what they're making, and they just kind of barely make it, and you're doing good. And they don't understand that. They don't understand it. That's why it's good to trust in the Lord and don't lean to your own understanding. Verse 14, 15. For all the wells which his father's servants had digged in the day of Abraham his father, the Philistine had stopped them and filled them with earth. He said his water is running and we can't get nothing. So they said, we're going to cut his water off too. Look at somebody and say, the devil want to cut you off. But God has put a blessing on your life and they can't do it. They can't understand how they can't do it. When you're blessed, they can't touch you. They can pray against you. They can use a horseshoe turned upside down. You use a rabbit foot that they cut off that didn't help the rabbit. But it ain't going to do nothing against you. And Abimelech said unto Isaac, go from us, for thou art much mightier than we. You got to leave our country. Because this don't make no sense. My people around here nowadays, they're suffering. And you just being blessed. You're mightier than us. Leave us. Now, watch this. And Isaac departed thence and pitched his tent in the valley of Gerar and dwelled there. Isaac showed respect to what he wanted. He didn't argue with him. He left. And Isaac digged again the well of water, and which they had digged in the days of Abraham, his father. For the Philistine had stopped them after his death of Abraham. And he called their name after the name which his father had called them. And Isaac's servant digged in the valley and found there a well of springing water. Now watch this. They found a well of springing water. And the herdsmen of Gerar did strive with them, with Isaac herdsmen, and the water, saying, the water is ours. And he called the name of the well Esek, because they fought with him. Fought. Now, the Philistine, show you what they was doing. This is the story behind the story. They was following Isaac because they couldn't dig and get no water. And they knew that God was blessing him. And so when Isaac's men dug and hit water, they come and take it and says, this is ours. So he called and said, well, okay, they're going to fight over it, give it to them. Now, do you understand that you have to be godly when you're in a famine? You find water and they tell you it's ours and you just glad to give it to them? You don't ask God to come down and kill them? Lord, you know that we dug this well. This is ours. Wait a minute. I know you don't have to raise your hand, but I know that somebody in here would think, if we dug this well, you're not going to get it. But not Isaac. No, Isaac didn't do it. And they digged another well and strove for that also, And he called the name of that Shitna. And you know what that means? Opposition. They're still in opposition against us. They're still hostile. And he removed from thence and digged another one. And now look at this. He digged another one. And he said, if it be so, why am I thus? And went and inquired of God. So a lot of time, I read the wrong verse. 22. They didn't fight on that one. And so by not fighting on that one, it was a well, but they had strove not. And he called the name of it Rehoboth, thank you. And he said, for now the Lord have made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land. Now, here's what you got to understand. Look at somebody and tell them, say, when the enemy attack you for your blessing, wait on God, he'll give you another one. Just wait on God. He'll give you another one. And that's what he did. And he said, Rehoboth, because God said we didn't have to strive for this one. Now we're blessed. They have accepted us in the land. They've accepted and understand that we're going to be blessed. We're not running off. We left out of where they told us to leave. Now we are blessed. Verse 23, and he went up from thence to Beersheba. And the Lord appeared unto him the same night and said, I am the God of Abraham thy father. Fear not, for I am with thee, and I will bless thee and multiply thy seed for thy servant Abraham's sake. Now, here's how, and I want you ought to get this. We are Abraham's seeds. We are blessed by what Abraham did. He said that the blessings of Abraham will fall on us. Why would it fall on us? Because when you do righteous, Abraham was the first man that established righteousness with God. He believed God. And so when we do righteous, the blessings of Abraham will fall on us. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. So here we have a first mentioned principle in regards to Isaac. What is this first mentioned principle that is in regard to Isaac? Have y'all been keeping up with Genesis?
That he's the God of Isaac, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Okay, he is. But this is a first mentioned principle. Now, if we've been keeping up with the thing, watch. What is it? No, Abraham did that too. There was a famine in the land. He went down to Egypt. It's the first mention of God appearing to Isaac. He had appeared to Abraham in person. Now he appeared to his son after Abraham is gone. And now, and notice what caused him to appear to Isaac. What did Isaac do? He built an altar. He built an altar because he knew that God was with him for digging those wells. And these people had taken two of them. Now he builds a well, so they have accepted me. He builds an altar, so they have accepted me. And God appears to him and refreshed the whole covenant and promise over to him. And so when we walk in the will of God, remember, every man that is blessed at this day and time, they are blessed because a blesser preceded them. My blessing and your blessing come because somebody preceded you and God opened the door for you and blessed you. That's what he did. My mother, 9 boys. 3 girls. She asked God. She tells us that. She told us that before she died many times. So I asked God to give me one son that was a preacher. Here he be. That's what she said. Give me one. And God did it. Now, he told Abraham that the seed was going to be blessed. Now, watch God rehearse all of this to, this is not going to be what Isaac now heard. This is what Isaac now is a recipient of. So, God put the blessing on him, wanted him to understand that this was his blessing. And so he put it on him and he tells him about it. In verse 24, and he went up from them, and the Lord appeared unto him in the name of what? In the same what? Night. And said, I am who? Introduced himself. I'm the God of what? Thou what? Your father. Fear what? For I am with thee. And I will do what? I will bless thee and do what? Multiply thy seeds for what? My servant Abraham's sake. Not for your sake, but for Abraham's sake. And he built an altar there and called upon the name of the Lord and pitched his tent there. And there Isaac's servant did what? Another well. Then Abimelech went to him from Gerar and Ahazite, one of his friends, and Pichoah, the chief captain of his army. And Isaac said unto them, wherefore come ye to me, seeing ye hate me, and have sent me away from you? Why are you coming here? What's the reason you're coming here? Because you sent me, told me to leave there, and you hate me. And notice what they said. And they said, we saw certainly that what? The Lord was with thee. And we said, let there be what? Now an oath betwixt us, even betwixt us and who? And let us make a covenant with thee. Now here's the son, remembering what his father did, for God to bless his land. Remember that the former Abimelech, his father, had made a covenant with Abraham. Now the son want to make a covenant with Isaac. When people see that God is blessing you, and there's no doubt that God is blessing you, they want to get as close to you as possible. And that's the reason you can't let everybody get too close to you, because they're not coming close to you for the right reason. They wanted to be close to him because they saw the blessings of God. They saw that they couldn't get no water unless they would get a well that he had dug. They saw that their land and crop would not produce unless they was around Isaac. And let me tell you something. God have placed you in strategic places. Sometimes where you live at, God put you there to make a difference. To make a difference. And you would be surprised who people that know you that you don't know. You'd be surprised the people that have been watching you. For years they've been watching you. And they may not have been saying anything, but they know you. They know. And where we live, they know that I'm the preacher in that area. They know that he's the pastor. I don't know him, but they know me. I meet him at the mailbox. And they say, that's Reverend. How you doing, Reverend? I said, fine. One lady I met, and I totally forgot her little boy. And I said, she said, how you doing? I said, it's fine. My name is Sandra. Oh, I know you. I met you at the mailbox here 20 years ago. 20 years ago. It's okay. All right. You met me 20 years ago. But people want to be around you when they know you're a person of God. When they know you're a man or woman of God, they want to be around you. They want to be around you when they're in trouble. You may think that they don't know you, but let them get in trouble. They'll find you. On your job, they'll ask you to pray for them. Some of the folks have been talking about, do I have a witness here? Some of the people have been talking about you on your job, but when they got in trouble, they come and ask you, say, would you pray for my mama? Would you pray for my daddy, this and that? And you was a little bit baffled, saying, didn't they understand that's the same one that called me them name the other day? But don't tell them. They ask you to pray for them, you say, I certainly will. I will. I will pray for them. Now, they come and they say, let's make a covenant between us and let's do this. Then that thou wilt do us no hurt. Now look, they got the whole land, and it's just the family and the servants of Isaac. They said, let's make a covenant with you so you won't do us no hurt. Huh? As we have not touched thee, and as we have done unto thee nothing but good, and have but sent thee away in peace, thou art now the blessed of the Lord. We sent you away in peace. We didn't do nothing to you. Don't go praying against us. We just sent you away in peace. I'm gonna get you first in a minute. But we sent you away in peace. Don't do nothing to us, please. Yes.
And these people aren't believers in Isaac's God or the God of. They're not realizing that God is. There's only one God for all.
For all. They realizing now that there got to be a God.
There's a God but that He's blessed the God.
Right. But look at this. See, unbelievers have to see. They have to see things. Believers don't have to see it. But unbelievers have to see. They see a man that is not serving their God. They see a man plants fields and 100% comes up in dust. They see a man dig wells where they've been trying to dig and get water. They stopped up the other because they was angry with him. And he digs and he hit water. They takes the water. He digs another well. They take that one. He don't fight. He dig another one. They finally accept it. So now they see that God is on this man's side. Let's go, and because if we don't, God going to destroy us. They knew about the walls of Jericho falling. They knew all the history of Israel. So they said, let's make some friends here. Well, the walls of Jericho hadn't fallen yet. But they knew about the Red Sea. So they said, let's make friends with him now because we don't want no trouble. So let's get a covenant like our dad did. Now, and he made them a feast. Y'all see that? And he made them a feast. And they did eat and drink. Do good unto them that do what? Despitefully use you. And they rose up bedtime in the what? And sweared one to another. And Isaac sent them away. And they departed from him in peace. Now, and it came to pass the same day that Isaac's servant came and told him concerning the well which they had dig, and said unto him, we have found water. We found water. And he called it Sheba. Therefore the name of the city is what? Is Sheba. Beersheba. Unto this day. Now watch this. And Esau was 40 years old when he took two wives, Judith, the daughter of Berah, the Hittite, and Bamoth, the daughter of Elon, the Hittite, which were a grief of mine unto Isaac and Rebekah. I'm sorry. Yeah, and Rebekah. Now, why was there grief? Because they were heathens. Black heathens. And that's why they was vexed because here is your brother marrying somebody that you got to help. They didn't like him because he was a person of God. And so sometimes we have to bear the infirmities of our siblings. None of you all have had to do that. All of you all have brothers and sisters that love you, kind to you. When I got saved, I had two of my brothers, there are three of them, that had nothing to do with me for 30-something years. 30-something years. Now, all of them respect me highly. But for 30-something years, they had nothing to do with me. Percy and myself and my brother in Arkansas was the only three of us. We stayed in connection. Stayed in connection. My baby brother was in Sacramento. He sort of got out of touch with everybody. Just y'all don't have no nothing like that. But now they look to me like I'm next to the baby, and I'm next to the baby boy, and I just found out 13, 14 years ago I had a baby sister on my father's side. But they all look up to me like I'm the oldest. They call me and want to know what I'm going to do about this, what I'm going to do about that. And I'm saying, y'all the oldest. But they do that. Now, my baby brother that ran into some type of problems he had, that if he was talking to you and you disagreed with him, he tell you, said, don't say that no more, or leave. If you said it again, he would leave and wouldn't speak to you for 20 years. I'm serious. But now, now he calls me, he talked with me. When I go to Sacramento, he'll make an appointment. Say, I just talked to you. He listened to what I say. He talked with good sense now. He bought him a house, got it beautiful, just fixed up. He told me the last time I was down there when I went to bury my brother this year, he said, I'm ready to get a wife. And I said to him, you may not be ready. You've been single for all your life. You're 65 years old. He said, I'm ready for a wife. He said, I want you to pray for me because I'm still waiting. I said, Lord Jesus, is this Abraham? But, I don't know, should I tell him? Anyway, I will. He told me that this summer he might be down here. He says, that any women in the church that want to marry me, I said, I'm not telling you nothing. I ain't telling you nothing. If you come down here, you just my baby brother. That's all it is. You my baby brother. But that's the family. We are all our families. All of us are different. I have 5 kids. Every one of them is different. Every one of them is different. Look at my wife shaking her head. Yes, they are. Each one of them is a generation of their own. They are. There's as much different in Pat and Fred as it is in day and night. Sharon and Jackie and Junior different from all of them. I'm not just talking about now, but he was different before then. The boy would sit down and talk with our dogs. Okay. Okay. But I know that you all have some folks that would sit down and talk, feed it. I didn't ever care for dogs. I just didn't. Dogs and cats. Didn't go around abusing them, but I just didn't care for them. I just didn't. And I told y'all this before. We was in Israel last year. Israel you don't see no dogs. You don't see no dog cats. They let cats come in a restaurant, walk. Is that true? Go all across the table while you eat. Yes, they do. They won't put the cats out. Yes, they don't put the cats out. The cat comes there, they feed them and everything. And we was in Mount Carmel. And we were there and they was giving a sermon. And out of the blue, a cat came and sit by me. My wife was laughing. She knew I wanted to tell that cat to get away. And I'm wondering, and then the cat got closer. I'm wondering, what is this? This got to be the devil. No, all the folks there, all the seats we sitting around, the cat came and sit by me. I said, Lord Jesus. It was. But what I want you to understand out of this lesson, and if there's any question, is that Isaac went through. God allowed him to do his own formality and do things that he thought he wanted to do his way. But then God never forgot the promise.